World GM. GM. So, today is Sunday, 14th of April. Later on, I'll do weekly outlook for a deeper dive. We'll just have a quick market overview here. Obviously, World War III fears, which seem to be unfounded. Doesn't seem to be much behind it, I think, from what I've read now this morning, that there's not going to be any more retaliation. And so you saw some panic. The reason why crypto dipped is because the only market that's open, right? You know, geopolitical fears will shock the traditional markets, the TradFi markets, whenever we get back in. On Monday, there'll be some wild volatility. But since crypto is open, people rush to dump, their riskiest assets, especially, meaning Bitcoin for most TradFi investors, and then for crypto traders, you dump your shitty alts before you dump your Bitcoin, of course. And I mean, overall, it moved down, took out the range low, took out 60k, retested that level, strong support till now. Good place to buy a dip if you wanted to buy alts, right? We've had the absolute full flush out on alts, many of them back to their 200-day moving average. If you've got wrecked on this move, then it has to be a lesson. Don't use leverage. Very simple. I say this multiple times every week. If people still choose to not listen to me, I have absolutely no sympathy for you. Because altcoins are leverage already. They're so volatile. In one day, like just in this one daily candle, say went down 30%. In 2 days, it went down 38%, 40%. They're already like a highly leveraged trade. Just holding it, just holding this thing, opens you up to 30 or 40% swings each way on any given day. So if you think you can add leverage in any form with altcoins, you are wrong. Now you can't go back and undo the past. So if you've lost, you've lost. But it has to be a lesson. And I'm not up preaching as if I've never made mistakes like this before. I learned the hard way too, by using leverage on altcoins and then watching as one of these violent market moves comes and shakes everyone out, right? This was the single biggest liquidation event since FTX collapse. And specifically for alts, if you look at the altcoin liquidations, it is absolutely massive. Global liquidations. And take out Bitcoin and ETH, and then we zoom out on it. There you go. And it's the biggest since, not even since FTX collapsed. FTX collapse wasn't that big. And it's the biggest really since about December of 2021 and September 2021. So like the end of the previous bull market. And too many people were long, too much shitty altcoins with too much leverage, and they were prone to a shakeout. The shakeout came, and that's it. Now, what I talked about yesterday is the exact same as today. I think if you look across the market, a lot of stuff is coming right down to areas where you want to buy it, right? A cash nearly at the 200-day moving average. Talked about this all the way up when people wanted to buy a cash. This is exactly where you should be buying it, right? I mean, the goal in a bull market is, do you think the bull market's still going? If yes, then you buy corrections. I got so many messages all day, every day, because we've been in from 55 cents in AKT, right? And I got so many messages, people saying, should I buy when it was up here? And almost nobody asking, should they buy now? Which again, I'm not saying you have to buy a cash. You can buy any coin you want. Just copy paste any coin in here, right? These are the deep areas where if you want to buy some spot, you buy it. Now the reason I say if you want to buy some spot, don't expect that getting long on a trade here is just gonna, if you get long here, it's not just gonna go like that. The reason you buy spot is because it might do this. It might chop sideways and take weeks, if not months, to actually go higher, if at all. I'm not saying Filecoin's one. I wouldn't pick Filecoin. But you get the point. The market is highly leveraged. Altcoins are already leverage bets. You do not need to add leverage onto that. It's just, you can't do it. Bitcoin dominance, absolutely mooning. Because of that, that was the catalyst for Bitcoin dominance to break out, as the whole market gets crushed and Bitcoin remains strong. And total 3, a big wick down, which probably sets up a bit of that consolidation like I talked about. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see from a retest perspective. Right, so you come back down, right back down into this level, holds, and probably you see some form of bounce and then it bleeds or chops sideways. And if it does that, it might even come into the 200-day moving average actually, which would be interesting. That's probably going to be the best chance of us having a bottom forming. So for alts, you don't want to see them lose that level, right? Because that would be a clear shift of the market, and that would set it really, really bad. Now, is there going to be enough demand to hold alts around here? Possibly. I mean, the first expectation I would have is that the support holds on a third retest, but I do expect also that alts, a lot of the big centralized exchange-based alts, they're probably going to struggle to get much demand. The market itself has just had a big risk-off moment. Bitcoin will be fine. The majors, certain alts like Solana will do fine, I'm sure. Ethereum will be stronger than most. And there'll be a bunch of alts that do well, but there's going to be a lot of alts that really underperform until, like I said yesterday, until we get money printing, like proper money printing coming again, or signs of real new liquidity. That's when everything's going to go up. But until then, you're going to have to be selective, and you should be selective anyway. You shouldn't be picking stuff just, there's a lot of faulty logic in crypto. A lot of people just think, I own alts. Like, this is why everyone calls for alt season, right? When alt season? It's just a way of saying they don't know how to pick a coin, right? I'm too lazy to actually do any research. I'm just going to pick some altcoin, buy it, and I'm going to wait for alt season. I'm going to wait for everything to go up. Well, if that's your strategy, you have to be prepared to be completely wrong and not make any money, because there's no effort that's gone into that. And that's like the market as a whole is just exactly what I see. It's a bunch of bag holders who just scream and cry on Twitter all day about when's my bag going to pump, and they're spamming the ticker. And a lot of faulty logic, I think, from last cycle. 2020 and 2021 was a massive wave, the biggest wave ever of money printing that was carrying the market, and everything pumped. But I really, really, really don't think that's going to happen this time. Now, will everything go up in a bull market? Yeah, to some extent. But a lot of these bags are going to severely underperform. So that's why you stick to what I said. I say this over and over again. New and shiny. So a new project with a new narrative, new chart, clean chart that people like. Old but strong. So stuff that's been around for a cycle or two, but it's holding up well. It's got a good chart against Bitcoin. It's rising, bullish market structure, higher highs, higher lows. And then avoid anything that is old and weak. Anything that's still stuck near its bear market lows. If you do that, I think you'll be fine. So that's it. Today on stream we'll do more of a post-mortem on the actions this week. We'll do weekly outlook. We'll look ahead to the week to come. That's it. GM.